Hi everybody, this is Liz with 143 Handmade. Today we're going to play with playing cards. We're going to do the mass make, just altered playing cards. We're going to do it in several different ways. So grab your partial decks and some paper and some glue and let's get started. I've pre-glued a few to get us going, to get us rolling, just so you can kind of see what we're doing. I tend to leave the backs and cover the number side with paper that can be written on to turn them into journaling cards, or I will let's see, another way I use playing cards is to just use them as they are, as pockets. But today we're going to focus on I guess they're journaling cards, or you know, something of that nature. So just little tidbits, kind of a cross between a tag and a journaling card. I like to tear the edges of the paper, even though it takes a minute and you kind of get some raggedy bits. I like those raggedy bits. I like the fact that it's, you know, obviously handmade that way instead of some factory done something. I like that there's a little bit of the playing card still showing through and that you can kind of see what number it was through that paper. Let's see. Hope the camera can pick up that little bit of shadowing. So that's all I did with these. Again, this is just some coffee stain paper and I just glued it down. I used Fabrifix is the glue that I used. I really like it for gluing the shiny cards. Some cards are more papery, and on those you can get away with a lot of different glues. Scotch Create glue stick works well on the papery cards, but I have found that the shiny cards, which these are all shiny cards that I have here today, the Fabrifix is the only thing that really adheres paper to it well. So, but yeah, just glue it down and tear it off. That's one, you know, very, very simple way of doing it. You can leave this all roughly. You can take the time to trim it, you know, with scissors, whatever makes you happy. I don't think there's a wrong way to alter playing cards. That's the whole point, right? Like we're taking a simple object and transforming it into something else. So however you do that, you're gonna be right. There's no wrong way. In case you're wondering why I have band-aids all over my hands, well, I guess not all over. I have two. This one, my son's cat bit me today. Not just randomly. I was grooming her. I hit a sore spot that I wasn't aware of, and she let me know. They don't typically bite that hard, but you know, it happens on occasion. And then this one over here is just, it's a little bit of a burn. I burned myself cooking. So, but there's some very pretty playing cards. I really love these. This background here. I've played with them and done lots of different things with them. I'm almost out of them. I'm not sure where I even got them. I still have a bunch of playing cards from when I was younger. I used to collect them. And so now I'm taking the ones, you know, some of the excess ones and repurposing them. Get rid of all those bits. There we go. I brought out some black and white illustrations to embellish with. I thought some of this red paper would be interesting as a backer, especially on this one with the berries. I thought the red would look really nice. This is the fly page out of a book. So if you really want to cover something, this would be a good weight paper to use. It's not quite cardstock, but it is, you know, heavier and thicker. You will not be able to see what's on the other side, that's for sure. So, I'm gonna grab my glue. And here we go. It's a little goopy. This one's been open for a while today. Been in here off and on throughout the day. One of our puppies, Storm, she went to the vet today and got fixed, and so today's been a little hectic working around that. And our other puppy, Tilly, this is the first time that she's been separated from her sister ever in her whole life. And so she had a stressful day too, even though she was not at the vet getting fixed, which she will be here in a couple weeks, but we did not want to attempt to do both at the same time. We just thought that would be a little too much. So, but they will both in fact be fixed. So I've just been popping in and out of the craft room throughout the day, getting a little bit done here and there. Everybody's tucked into bed now, and so I'm going to be able to record a video. But yeah, this is kind of my method. I will just grab up random cards that I want to do stuff with, and when I find a background piece that I want to use, I'll just grab up as many cards as will fill the space and just glue them down and then cut them apart. I don't worry about cutting them apart in between each one. I have learned though that you don't want to like shove them right up against each other. You want to leave yourself a little bit of cutting room, unless you don't mind, like, you know, adding that little bit of extra wear on the edge and potentially cutting the edge of your playing card a little bit. Let's see, will that one completely cover? No, but we could do it like this, so it would still make it a journaling card, but not be completely covered. So let's see, these are the ones with the red. Let's see, here's a red. Should we go red, red? No, those reds don't look good together. So let's see, what number do we want to go with that we have here? I don't know why, but let's go with the 3 spades. So we want to glue it up to that line. Don't want to put glue past that line. So I'll just use my finger tool. Again, don't put your fingers in any glue until, if you're sensitive skinned, you know, do a tester first. Of course, we all have sensitivities and we can handle different things. So make sure that, you know, you're safe. So let's see, let's pull this back. But yeah, I would definitely use a heavier duty glue when you're working with the shinier cards. The shiny thicker cards tend to pull away from whatever you're trying to adhere them to. I'm not sure why that is, but they do. So I'm going to set those aside and let those dry for a bit. Clean up my space just a wee bit. See, those are, and then these are just pages out of paper, out of books. And then these are some papers out of, these are really fragile book pages, but one side is blank. So you can easily take these pages. Let me grab a card here. And you glue the card to the same side as the text is on. And then you have blank, beautifully aged vintage or antique paper on the other side of your playing card now. And you can even, like, if you really like a specific torn edge or a specific, you know, aging around the color of the paper or something, you can capture whatever part of the page that matters to you, that you love. Okay. Yep, I'm on there. And we rub it really good, not with the gluey finger. So we're not putting glue on this side. And there you go. And now we've got, you know, and you can see the text there somewhat. It does ghost through ever so slightly. So does the playing card, but I really like it, actually. I like that you can see that it was something else, that this has been upcycled. This is, it's been reborn. It's not just another journal card, you know, this is something new. Let's see. There was, I had this idea to take some of these. And because sometimes, you know, you like part of the image. This one's a really pretty image of these two birds with the berries. That's just adorable. But, you know, sometimes, you know, the image is not what you want to see. So I was thinking that we could play with some other options here. Let's actually take this one that we just covered and see, I mean, how brittle that is. It's just coming right off. It's still wet, coming right off on that edge. But yeah, if we take this and let's say we don't like the lower bird. I mean, I think they're both cute. Let's say we don't like it. In this case, we could take this and we could do this, you know, a wraparound thing. So that way we get part of the image. And in this case, because it's a semi-fussy cut image, I'm going to put the glue on the smaller item. I try and whichever item is the smaller one, either the thing I'm gluing, or if I'm just tacking it on, I'll just put the glue on the surface. But okay, stick that on there. Get rid of my glue string. And see, by putting it down lower and then sliding it up, I'm not getting a gluey edge. You know, that glue is well contained up under there. Flip it over. Again, not with our gluey finger. Keep our gluey finger out of the way so we don't end up with glue everywhere. So we now have this peekaboo image of this flower that has wrapped around on both sides. You know, that's, you know, just another way of doing it. I like to mix it up and have things be unexpected. And then I just got rid of this extra bit down here. I'm just gonna toss that in the trash over here on the side. But sorry about that fly making an appearance. So there we go. Nice raggedy edges. I could have inked that. Let's see, should we do another one? You know, put her on there and leave the leaves showing, but cover the birds. I like that a lot. Okay. So we're gonna gluey. Lots of glue. But even with the Fabrifix, I like to spread it slightly. You know, some glues are worse about leaving the little globby things. Some aren't so bad. Fabrifix isn't bad, but it does happen on occasion. Let's see. Get like that, I think. Yeah. Oh, scooch just a little bit more to cover the leak. Yeah, and see, and I overglued. See, there's glue on the whole outside edge. That means that it will adhere nicely. Move it over onto something that it doesn't matter if glue gets onto it. Make sure we really burnish it down so that way it sticks really nicely, since it does have that exposed ruffly edge. And you know, that little bit, I might leave it and just let it hang off. I might go ahead and tear it. I think I'll let that one decide for itself, if you will. And then I'll just should probably wait for the glue to dry, but all the way. But you know, we just get impatient. We just want to get moving, don't we? We just want to finish what we're started. Finish what we're working on. We don't want to wait for the silly glue to dry. You know. So there we go. Look at that. I think that's really pretty. Well, actually, one second, hon. I do think I'm gonna go ahead and trim that off. I like that. The difference, the contrast between this ruffled edge, you know, and then the cut on the sides. I like that. And then on this side, let's go ahead and just glue it down to another one of these book pages. You can leave as much as you want to on these playing cards. I've seen playing cards in journals in all forms, really, where they are their own oddments, as I call them. They're just those things that you find in junk journals that they're just fun to explore. They don't really serve a purpose per se. You know, you can't write on them. They're not, you know, a pocket or anything like that. They just simply are, and they're beautiful. So you don't have to follow any rules when you're altering your playing cards. You can do them however you wish. Let's see, I'm going to check the time real quick. Okay. I'm going to get a clock in here after I get the desk all set up. I'm going to get a clock in here so I don't have to stand up to see the time. See how long this video's lasting. But you know, as you can see, sometimes I cut, sometimes I tear. It depends on the paper, it depends on the mood I'm in, it depends on how gluey my fingers are. See, right now my fingers are really gluey. So trimming is actually easier because I can hold the scissors and not worry about getting glue on the handle. I don't care if I get glue all over my craft scissors. So there we go, there's another one. Go ahead and bring some of these guys back in and tear them free. Excuse me. So let's see what's going on here this week. This week the big news is Stormy getting fixed and is having to, you know, deal with all of the accommodations for that. And she came home. She was so happy. My husband sent me a picture of her in the car and after he got loaded up, and you can just see this big old doggy smile on her face. She's just so happy because, you know, they always, when they're puppies like this and you take them in to get fixed, they're always convinced that you're never ever coming back, right? Or I guess not always, but like mine usually are. They're just, you know, because I don't really take them that many places in the car, and I know a lot of people say that's not good for them and all, but that's our life. I don't actually leave our property that often, which is my preference. I work from home, I raise the kids, I raise the pigs. Well, the kids are raised, but we have pigs that we raise for meat, as well as we do sell a little on the side, just enough to help pay for the pigs. I take care of the animals, you know, that's my job, you know, and we're coming up with ways for that, to monetize that as we speak. So, yeah, look at that. I think that's great. And you can continue, you know, you don't have to leave it so simple. You can add to it, embellish it as much or as little as you want. Let's see. Here's one I did previous where I used some stickles on this side. I didn't actually do anything on the side, but I did add a few stickles on that side. Let's go ahead and glue that down to something today. Sorry about that. I will get better, you know? These first handful of videos are never great, right? Thank you guys so much for sticking with me as I'm getting started and all the speed bumps that come along with getting started. I appreciate it. If you like what you see here, please like, subscribe, click the little bell for notifications, all that good stuff. Not exactly sure. Let's see, that's kind of funny. Chapter 8, to bury a moose. Let's see, can I capture that? I think I can. I think if I put this on this side, all the way up, and fairly centered, because that was centered on the page. Okay, well, I'm stuck. That's it. That's where it's going. So let's see, what do we get it? Yeah, we got it. Okay. See, this paper's so brittle that I just barely pull on it and it just flakes off. Let's see, let's go ahead and crease that. Because it's such a small edge, sometimes the small ones are kind of harder to grab and whatnot. Just kind of ruffle that up with my fingernail a little bit. There we go. That'll be something interesting to find, huh? Chapter 8, to bury a moose. That would be great fun to find in a writing journal, a writing prompt journal. Get rid of those little bits. And let's see. Go ahead and bring these guys back in. I've had time to dry now. Yeah, look, I really like how that looks. The red on the red. That would be fun to find in a journaling card, in a like a Valentine's Day journal or something of that nature. So that one's interesting to me because you still have that. And you know, if it really bothered you and you really wanted to cover that up, you could. Like, let's say we wanted to cover up the spade. I mean, I'm not superstitious. I don't know anything that, you know, spades are bad or anything like that, but just say you wanted to. I think that's a little bit wide, so I'm going to take this flower off. So you just pinch it, and whichever side is on the bottom of your rip is going to have the longer fray. Whichever one you're pulling up, the fray is going to be on the underside. So if you have a white cord paper, whichever one is on the bottom, that's where you'll see the white. But not all paper is white on the middle. Yeah, I like that. So I'm just gonna add this guy. And spread that glue out. And I try really hard to keep the glue on only a couple of fingers, so that way I can continue to manipulate the piece with the rest of my hand. Doesn't always work, you know, but that's the goal anyways. Let's sketch that over so we get more of it on there. Yeah. And that breaks that super white edge there. They're not white, but straight edge. Also, I don't think I had it under 100% straight, so it covers the fact that it was a little askew. You'll never notice now. So, you know, always be careful and getting glue on yourself, of course. Know yourself, know if you can do that. There we go. I really like that one too. Let's see. Oh, there's my sweetie. Anyways, let's see. Let's go ahead and use some of this alcohol stained paper. So, I use these altered playing cards in a lot of different situations. That's why I just called it altered playing cards as opposed to saying journal cards or flip ups or pockets or, you know, anything like that, because I will use these altered playing cards in all of those various applications. Some of these will become pockets, some of them, well, actually these probably won't become pockets because I'm taking the time to glue on the other side, but they will become flip ups and tucks and journal cards and, you know, tuck-ins, actually not tucks, but, you know, all kinds of different things. And that's one of the things I love about altering playing cards, because you can use them for so many different things. They're a great resource for cardstock, because you can go to a thrift store. Most thrift stores you can get playing cards for super cheap, especially if they if you talk to them and tell them that you do want some that are not whole decks. Sometimes they'll just go in the box in the back and grab up a whole box and bring them out to you and sell you the whole box for super cheap. So just don't be afraid to ask for that stuff at your local thrift shops, you know, because sometimes they don't put stuff out because they don't think anybody wants it. So if you want some obscure, odd item like that and you don't see it, go talk to them, because they might have it. They might have a whole box of them in the back, or they might have been throwing them away all that time because they didn't think anybody would want them. But if you talk to them and they know you want it, a lot of times they will happily hold it for you because they want to make as many sales as possible, obviously. You know, no matter what kind of thrift shop it is, you know, for profit, not for profit, you know, church, rummage sale, you know, whatever the case may be, it really doesn't matter. You know, they all, you know, want to make money, whatever it is they're making money for. So speak up. Tell them you're looking for stuff. Tell them you're looking for old paper. Tell them you're looking for old magazines. Whatever it is that you happen to be looking for. Mismatched playing cards, you know. Doesn't it really? You'd be surprised at what they can dig up out of the back of those places. They really do have a lot. And they really do make decisions all day long about what they think their customer wants. And sometimes they're, you know, they're not always right, because they're not always crafters. I've talked to many people at my local Salvation Army, and they're avid crafters, most of the women that work there. There's only one guy that works there, as far as I know, and he's never out front, so I have no idea what he does. But all the women that work there, they all craft in some way, so they know to put even the most obscure items. Go ahead and put it out there, because somebody will grab it up and use it for a craft supply. So that just happens to be my local Salvation Army. The ones that are a little over away up in Tulsa that I go to on occasion, those, on the other hand, some of them you'd be hard-pressed to find anything for the junk journal world at them, because they are very clothing focused or furniture focused, or, you know, whatever. It's quite surprising what you find up in Tulsa, actually. I don't live up there, obviously, so I don't really know what the culture is like for people, but I know that the thrift stores, you never know what you're going to get. It is a quite interesting grab bag. Sometimes there's some fabulous deals of really nice stuff, and then other times it's like there's just garbage. They literally don't have anything. See, okay, on this one I'm actually going to glue it on this side because I like the coloration of that and I want to capture that. So I'm just going to flip it over and go ahead and capture that side of the paper, because that's the part that intrigues me this time. Let me go ahead and flip it over that one more time and make sure I had it the right end this way. This burnishing, you know, you can do this with your finger, obviously. That's how I usually do it, but a bone folder, credit cards, you know, obviously not the ones you're using, but, you know, an expired one, or a store card, or, you know, those free ones that you get in the mail, something like that. All of the above would work. A scraper. Some people, I saw the other day, a lady on one of the YouTube channels, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one, but she was using a teeny tiny spatula. It was like a doll spatula. It was adorable. But, and see, I will go ahead and leave this super rough right now, but it just depends on how I end up grabbing it up to use it, how rough I'll actually leave it in the end of, you know, the final use. So, but I tend to prefer to tear things the first go round, because you can almost always go back and trim it up, you know, make it look a little neater. But you can't add paper once it's ripped off. You know, like, it's just that edge is what it is. So I tend to leave it a little bit on the long side. That way I have less to go back and fix later. I have less patching to do. I have, you know, that sort of thing. But again, you know, whatever floats your boat. I do like to use alcohol inks on playing cards. I'm not going to do that tonight because I do not do that inside around my cats. I always use my alcohol inks outside. And so, and since it's super dark out right now, we're not going out. So let's see. Oh, here's another one that's ready to go. Let's go ahead and rip it out. So let's see. Yeah, Stormy and Tilly are almost 6 months old. They're, you know, 5.5 months old or so. They're German Shepherds. She weighed 41 pounds at the vet this morning. So Stormy did, and Tilly probably outweighs her just a little bit. She has every other time. But they're adorable. We're struggling with the fencing a little bit. I think I mentioned before that we're on supervised visits outside only. We're still there, unfortunately. They figured out how to bail over the fence, and so they just keep doing it. We put up another temporary fence to see if that one would work. Nope, that one didn't work either, so gotta go bigger. Gotta go taller. And I mean, we are working with them on other methods of boundary control as well, but I do feel it's important, especially living out here for safety reasons, that because our neighbor's cows do get out, and he does have bulls and things of that nature, and so it is important to me that my dogs be safe and that we have a secure location outside for them. I don't mind the idea of them roaming a little bit on our land. If we could, if our entire 40 acres was fenced off, that would be great. But unfortunately, it's just not. And we are working on it slowly but surely. But, as you can imagine, fencing 40 acres of overgrown land is, not only is it not cheap, it's not easy, because we can't even get to some of it. It's so densely wooded that we can't get in there even with the tractor. So at this point, we focused on this front corner for the most part, and are slowly chipping our way, around the whole thing. So that's where that sits. But for now, I do want to have a small, secure kennel. I think that we're just going to have to resort to buying one of them ones with or building one of them ones with the roof on it. Just to, be absolutely certain that they are safe, that even if the bull is right there, unless he charges them, they'll be fine. Because they cannot climb over just to, challenge a bull, because that's just seems like a really bad idea to me. Let's see, do we want to put her on the side? No, that doesn't look right, does it? Let's see about these other people. That looks interesting, huh? There is a little man there. Let's see. I think that I'm going to do another one of these where I use the paper to only cover part of it, and then use the image to cover the other portion. So just getting it knocked down so it gets all the way out there to that outer edge. And then slide it in place. Oh, I didn't make it tall enough. The glued area. Obviously the paper was tall enough. There we go. Let me slide it back from that just a little. There we go. And if you do end up getting this Fabrifix someplace you don't want it, if you just kind of rub on it, it goes away. It's like it never happened. How awesome is that? Pull this down a little, because on this side that white goes down a little further. So we want to make sure that we have that covered, or off of there, I mean. So like that. Let's go ahead and rip this off. Yeah, see, this is the white cord paper that I mentioned a while ago. So when you tear it, whatever's down, whatever's on the bottom side that you're tearing this up away from it, that's where the white core will show. And you actually do get it on both pieces, but you know, you can't, it's on the underside of the upper one. That's how you get that really pretty white edge on paper that has that. But not all paper does. You know, that's one of those kind of funny things. I'm not sure if it's, you know, costs extra to make it that way or what. Probably, because it would be more layers. That would make sense. I don't know, I've never made paper. I do plan to do a video later this summer of me attempting to make paper for the first time. So you guys have that to look forward to, that ridiculousness, because I'm sure it will be absurd. You know, because all these videos say, oh, it's so easy, right? So whenever I see those videos, like, it's really hit or miss for me. Either it goes great and it was super easy, or it just goes terribly wrong. So I am going to record it no matter what, and you guys will get to see how absurd me making paper is, or not, because I really don't know. I have never attempted it before, so we shall see. Seems like it should be pretty easy, but you know, lots of things in life seem like they should be easy, but when you actually attempt them. Okay, so this one got a little weird, the glue, and then that corner tore weird, so let's take, what about this little flower? We'll do that. Or this one just across the whole bottom. Yeah, I like that. The bigger one across the whole bottom. So I'm just gonna put some glue on here. Tap that edge into it and slide it up to where I want it. So that way that glue goes right underneath, disappears nicely. Getting set up. This week, my Etsy shop. It is open. The link will be below, but I don't have a lot in it at the moment. I'm juggling lots of things, getting used to, you know, doing all of this stuff, getting into good work habits and all that. So I will get to where my Etsy listings are, you know, better and more consistent and all of that as I get better at making the videos and everything. So yeah, added those layers. Let's see, I might add a stamp of a word there, or just, you know, like I found that interesting chapter title on one of these other ones. Yeah, to bury a moose. So I might find something like that and just stick that on there. But we'll go ahead and call that good for now. Let's see, how many did we get done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15 done in about 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. Oh wait, there's more. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I mean, I did do some prep work. I did do some pre-gluing, so, you know, some of that was from previous work, but still. So I hope that this inspired you to get a deck of cards and make some journal cards. Because as you can see, you have a lot of options. You can, you know, leave parts or completely cover them, both sides if you want. Like if it's a really ugly card, you can totally cover both sides. I think that's one of my favorites. I really like these red ones too, though. I really like that one too. You know, it's funny because sometimes, you know, when you go to making stuff like this, you'll like a bunch of them, and then sometimes you only like one or two. This time I like a lot of them. I mean, they're fairly simple. You know, glue blobby. You know, they're fairly simple items, but you know, none of them came out badly. You know, because that does happen. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I greatly appreciate it. All of your time spent with me. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I make a new video. I'm trying very hard to do these Mass Make Mondays every week, and I'm going to sporadically do the Tag Tuesday with Turquoise Dreaming that she sponsors, and or not sponsors, hosts the collaboration. And let's see, I just got news today that I will be on I'm on a design team. I will link Betty's channel below. I haven't got full details on that yet, but I'm sure that will entail videos. So I can't wait to get started. So more videos to come. I'm going to get better, get more consistent. I hope to get videos of the puppies. That's been tricky. It's a lot harder to videotape yourself, or to record yourself, and the dog. So puppies don't like to sit and stay all that well. They do great for their age, but still. So thank you very much for joining me. See you next week.